I'm out here at Smokes waiting on my food. And so I decided that this may be a great opportunity for me to decide to go rogue and record myself because today I'm feeling some type of way. Ordinarily, I'm in a very high vibrational frequency, usually. I'm really uppity and very positive. Today, I'm clearly not that. Today, I'm feeling some type of way. Today, it just seems like it's one of those days, and it's so much of one of those days that I decided that I've been looking for the silver lining in all the things that I've been experiencing within this day, including the main and first one, it being a blessing to even be alive and to be able to experience this day. So, even with me acknowledging that, I can also still acknowledge the fact that I am in my feelings today. Let me just start off by saying that I want to document this for my own therapeutic and self-reflection. And I'm still in the quest of getting to know myself. And that things can get very tricky. And I'm focusing on the topic and the subject of inattentional blindness. And I'm really examining myself, and I'm looking and reviewing everything that I feel and I observe and I experience with that filter. And so I clearly acknowledge the fact that I am definitely in my feels. I don't have to. I could choose to be out my feels. And I'm noticing that because I don't choose to get out of my feelings, things are not getting better either. Not necessarily. I mean, they could get worse, but they're not getting better. When I'm acknowledging that why I am continuing to be in my feels about a number of things. It's not like I didn't ask the question, because I do believe that when you register and you acknowledge your feelings, and you register and you acknowledge the fact that you're feeling some type of way, you start to ask yourself the tough questions. And when you begin to ask yourself the tough questions, such as, why do I feel the way I feel? And you get to the honest answer, you begin to unpack that. And when you're unpacking it, sometimes you become more aware of the things that are truly influencing your thoughts, your beliefs, your feelings, and all of that. And most of them are made by us, ourselves, because again, it could be just as simple as me thinking myself and making myself feel better emotionally. That is something that we are capable of doing, but I chose not to do it because I was invested in being upset. Even though I didn't necessarily understand how in all of the ways I was invested, I did recognize some on why. Some had to do with, the fact that I was dealing with disappointment. Some had to deal with the fact that I was dealing with some embarrassment, maybe some failure, maybe some confusion or real blasé disposition, which is so obvious at this moment in time for me. And I'm always a very intentional, very purposeful person. I'm a person that believes in the power and benefit of having a routine or having a project. But I'm learning to also see the benefits of not having projects and not being so busy and not having a routine and being very spontaneous and impulsive even. But I digress. I am in the mood today. And it's not really like me to be in the mood, and I wanted to document it that I was in the mood. I had an expected appointment today that I was really, really excited about having, that I actually paid money to secure my appointment, only to get ready for my appointment. And after bragging about how excited I was about it, come to find out there was some type of glitch with the person's appointment scheduler, and they're on vacation, and my appointment is not possible. No, so there's nothing I can really do about that, but I feel some type of way about that on many levels for many reasons, of course. But the fact remains that there's nothing I can do about it. You know, things happen. And the frustration of dealing and arriving with that disappointment, I come across a project that kind of got put on the back burner in my backyard. And I gave my brother a telephone call because he was the one who was really managing it and working it. And so I had a conversation with him. While I was on the phone with him, I noticed that one of my barbecue grills covers has I have covers for all of my grills and furniture in the backyard, and one of my grills covers was torn, and it was ripped really badly. And I'm FaceTiming my brother, talking to him, and I'm like, wow, did you see this? And I'm looking at it, and I'm like, it's just like torn, and as I'm touching it, it's tearing more. It's tearing up more. Like, this is like a heavy-duty cloth over cover up for a grill, barbecue grill. And I'm like, it's tearing as I pretty much like pull it, just tug at it. Like, I'm tugging it, and it's tearing, it's ripping apart. And my brother and I are like in awe as it's happening. So I'm just like, and then he noticed it, and he brought it to my attention. He's like, wasn't that black? And I'm like, you're right, it was black. It's gray now. So we are noticing that the rain, obviously, the rain and heat or the sun or whatever had destroyed my cover, my grill cover, to the point where it was now ripping and pretty much falling apart. It was distorted. It pretty much faded the color. It was black. It was now a light gray, like it had been bleached. And it was really weird because, again, with this heavy-duty material, there was no way that should have been able to just fall apart the way that it did. And so I was just really at awe with that, because I'm like, what are the odds of this? Like, really? So I'm dealing with the disappointment of that. And then, like I said, I had not arrived totally with the learning of my appointment not being able to be fulfilled at that moment. But soon after that, I will learn of that. That will add to my frustration. But I move forward. I work through my disappointments and my mood, you know. I observe myself. I observe my mood. I observe how I feel. And I was really tripping on myself, like, wow, you know, this day is kind of starting off to be something for you today. You're not really feeling yourself today. And I acknowledge, and it's okay not to be okay. But of course, I'm really, examining on what is it that that's causing me to just be not on the frequency that my happy medium, I like to call my baseline frequency. And so I pushed through. I went for a walk, and that always raises my vibration. I always enjoy that. And so it was during the walk that it was confirmed that my appointment was not going to happen, and then furthermore it was money involved. And unfortunately, I'm obviously dealing with some place of lack, which is not a place of a place I really want to be. I don't like having to for lack of a better expression, I have to deal with my coins being funny. And I'm sure everyone can relate to that. When you have to make cutbacks, or just plain or simply, when you just, funds are low, I notice how those type of things affect me. And so this was one of those type of situations where, it was money involved, and it ain't like I got a whole bunch of money that be, what I'm saying, but I ain't getting what I want. But I observed myself and I moved through it, and it's like I said, I knew there's nothing I could do about it, so it will be okay. I ask myself the questions I always tell people to ask themselves when they feel their anxiety building up in themselves, and you feel yourself getting upset. You ask yourself, am I safe? I am safe. Am I grounded? I'm grounded. I'm grounded. I'm here, and I'm okay, even though I'm upset. And I got a grip on myself. It wasn't really that big of a deal. Once you grab yourself and you realize, that you are good and that you're safe, there's no real reason for you to continue with the anxiety any longer. Okay, and so, I dealt with that, but I was still upset. So it wasn't an anxiety, but now I just had this frustration that just, as I'm going through my walk, I feel it. And I feel, but I want to push through, move through it. And so I make up my mind, I got things I have to do anyway. And so I decided, I'm going to, I have some projects I have to do this week. I have an event I have to do this week. I'm going to go and cook dinner tonight. I'm making my plans as I do my walk. And so as I'm closing up, my sister and we're closing up the walk. And I'm pretty much preparing as, we're on our way back home to go to the store to do all the things I need to do for the day. And I do that. And I'm still observing myself. And so then I go to the grocery store. I do the things I need to do. I go to the grocery store. I decide what I want for dinner. And I wanted some salmon. But then I changed my mind in the store. But before I even got to the store, I said, I want some corn on the cob. And so I made it my business to pick up some corn on the cob when I went to the store. And so I did that. And pushed through. And so sometimes, you will see the silver lining as you work through your frustrations. And so I get back from the grocery store, and I am preparing to put the groceries up and preparing to start the dinner. And I go and look at the corn, on the package of the corn,